Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, not Gold Guy, not Bitcoin Boy, not even Bitcoin Bandit. There is a reason. However, precious metals, including gold, are the safest, smartest investment. So when I see an article come out titled 6 Reasons Gold is a Terrible Investment, you know I'm going to have some fun with this in front of all you for the entertainment and educational purposes. And guess where this article was posted? doughroller.net, where they have banking, credit cards, loans, insurance, taxes. Of course, gold and silver is a direct threat to the US dollar. So these 6 reasons, I'm very curious, what they're going to try to sway the reader's perspective from. See, if they make some good points, I'll give them the credit, but I'm also going to expose the crap out of them because you guys know I dissect, I break down, I'm going to shred this entire article to pieces word by word. Now, before we jump into this very entertaining video, I have a quick word from our sponsor. Have you ever thought about or wanted to express your love for precious metals in a fashionable way? Well, look no further. AG47 Apparel has given you that opportunity. It is a clothing line made directly for silver stackers from yours truly. I designed all of these products. Lots of different stuff, very bold statements, a lot of conversation starters. I love the newest launch, which is the Game Over t-shirt with the dollar cross. We even have very funny types of shirts like the got milk statement. It says got silver. On the back it says cause I do, different colorways. We even have the new shirt that came out a couple days ago, Stack Silver, and on the bottom it says sold out. We have wall tapestries. Imagine hanging that up in your house or your man cave or wherever you want. Lots of different stuff. The slightly skeptical line, which we all should be slightly skeptical with everything. We have the dollar crash. We even have the greedy line. We have one that says the dollar is worthless, and on the bottom it says so buy silver. I mean, lots of different fun stuff. If you want to check out any of this, go to slayersmerch.com, or the link will be in the description. Let's jump back into this very interesting video. So here are the 6 reasons why gold is a terrible investment. So, a reader named Aaron sent me an email recently asking about gold and silver. He wanted to know if they should be a part of a diversified portfolio. He writes, "Hi Rob, I enjoy reading your tips and I put a lot of them in place for our retirement savings. My question is, what is your view on adding gold and silver into a portfolio and how much?" This question leads right into a topic for this podcast, and the article is gold a good investment? This is going to be good because he's giving financial advice, someone who pushes credit and loans and all that type of stuff in front of your face. He's going to give financial advice about precious metals. Oh, this is going to be good. Grab some popcorn, kick your feet up, and let's enjoy the ride. Wow. So, I think that for most people, most of the time, gold is not a good investment. Here are 6 reasons why. And off the bat, I don't understand how gold couldn't be a good investment. It's the only investment you can put your money into where you're guaranteed for it to be safe. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, let's try to see how he twists this to make sense. Number 1, it doesn't produce anything. If you own an ounce of gold today, a year from now, 10 years from now, and 100 years from now, you'll still own an ounce of gold. In contrast, if you own stock in a company, companies produce things. That's ass backwards. The reason why gold is so valuable is because 1 ounce of gold is always going to equal 1 ounce of gold regardless of who says the price is. Just like why gold has been valuable for 5,000 years. No matter who says that 1 ounce gold coin is worth what is irrelevant, because the value of the coin is the 1 ounce of gold inside of it, not the price tag. And when you're incorporating, inflation or the economy collapsing from our dollar devaluing itself from hyperinflation, then I don't see how stocks, companies, all of that stuff vanish. The fiat dollar, a fiat system lasts maybe 100 years at most, but the dollar's already lost 98% of its purchasing power. Putting your money into a company is the riskiest thing you can do. But anyways, I can see the perspective he's coming from a business suit and tie guy that doesn't want you to know about the truth. So, and by the way, you can invest into other things. Gold is a hedge against inflation. It's where you store your money, kind of like in a time capsule, but you can still invest into other things. So this guy should be telling this guy, yes, you could put 15% of your portfolio into precious metals as a foundation. So if things go haywire, at least you have gold as a backup. Hence why our money used to be backed by gold. The only reason the United States is the richest country in the world is because we own the most gold. So for this guy to say that you shouldn't own gold, he's literally saying, well, America is the richest country, but who cares? We're the richest and the wealthiest. Just keep printing money. Just keep going after things that make no sense, that aren't tangible. Terrible advice. But anyways, ExxonMobil produces oil and refines gasoline for the market. Apple produces, and all these things without gold and silver wouldn't be able to run. That's another thing he's missing. It doesn't produce anything. Well, gold and silver produce everything. How do you think you're typing this article up on that laptop, guy? By silver, and gold is in the laptop too. They produce everything. Without silver, solar panels, the green revolution wouldn't be existent. Without silver, electric vehicles wouldn't be a thing. They produce everything, but he's looking at it, trying to sway it, and it's just like his perception is so distorted because he's a banker, because he's coming from this type of perspective. The same type of guys that tell you to buy gold and silver when the price is at its highest, instead of telling you to, and then when the price is low, they tell you to sell. Same type of people. So anyways, this means that your investment in a sound company can hopefully will grow over time. And don't think this is just about stock market performance. If you're invested in a solid company, its assets are likely growing, and its earning potential and actual earnings are growing into fake money though. That's the other thing, right? It's growing, but with inflation, it's not really growing. Maybe your company made you $1,000 over a period of time, but by the time that happened, the value of the dollar has decreased enough where you're not even you're breaking even. It's like it's like playing catch up. A Tesla can cost $50,000 right now, but in, let's say, 30 years, a Tesla could cost 70, 80,000. So it sounds like more money, and it is more because the purchasing power of the dollar is weakening. You could have $50,000 in your bank account in gold and silver, and another $50,000 in your bank account in dollars. Over time, in 30 years from now, what you can buy with that $50,000 today will be probably around $5,000 or $10,000, where that gold and silver $50,000 will still hold its value like it always has. So anyways, I want to go more into these other things, because that's just, we know the point he's trying to get to. So number 2, there's an oversupply. Oversupply. Gold does have some uses, but not a whole lot of them. And yes, I would love to hear what he says about silver. I hope he brings up silver. See, a lot of these things he can get away with saying because gold is strictly a monetary metal. Silver, with the industrial side, it plays a whole new game. And that's why a lot of times I tell people, my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, because silver has a lot more potential. But precious metals in general are always going to be the safer, smarter investment. So gold does have some uses, but not a whole lot of them. It's used for decorative purposes, for jewelry, and a few industrial applications, but gold's pale in comparison to the supply of gold. So that I guess this could be somewhat of a true point, but I still don't think that that's a valid point to tell someone that it's a terrible investment. Most gold is recycled, rescrapped, reused, right? And it is mainly used for jewelry and stuff, so yes. And when we're talking about silver, this is the exact opposite. We need a lot of silver, but there's a silver shortage. So yes, that's where silver went up gold. So that's not a bad point, but it's still not a good enough reason to call it a terrible investment. There's simply no way that gold's industrial and decorative uses can match the available supply of gold. When you think of other commodities like crops, oil, gas, you'll see these commodities have significant uses that can meet or even exceed supply, like silver. So the demand for these commodities ultimately determines their price. So why doesn't he mention silver? I guess because the guy asks about gold. There is some supply and demand element in the price of gold, but it's not anywhere near what you'll see with other commodities, and it's definitely not like a company that actually produces something of value. Something of value. What is that something of value? And what determines value? 3. Long-term returns are terrible. The long-term real return for gold is abysmal. When gold's value goes up, it gets a lot of press and attention. Everyone's talking about it. We saw that back in 2011 when gold prices rose, but it's since fallen quite a lot. Back in 1980, the gold price went up to $850 an ounce. It got a lot of attention, fanfare, and news coverage. But long-term, gold doesn't really go up that much. A study mentioned in the New York Times looked at the return of gold from 1836 to 2011. Once you factor in inflation and long-term return, it's just 1.1%. Exactly. That's the point. It holds its value. From back in 1836 to 2011, your gold has held its value. If this would have been anything else, it would be down tremendously because of inflation. The same thing he's saying. He's contradicting himself. Gold is like putting your money in a time capsule, a time vault. In 1,000 years from now, gold will still be valuable and will still be able to have the purchasing power of something today, whereas anything else would be out the window. Just like a Walking Liberty $50 could get you a gallon of gas back in the day, and that same exact coin can get you a gallon of gas today. If I was sitting in a gas station, just bought a gallon of gas for 50 cents, because there's 50 cents of actual silver inside of a Walking Liberty, if I just got that, if I handed that $50 to the store clerk, got my gallon of gas, and then all of a sudden I went into a time vault. Somehow went to a time vault. I ended up at the same gas station, and all I had in my pocket is that Walking Liberty $50. I could still get a gallon of gas. See, back in the day, it was the 50 cents of face value. But today, I could take that Walking Liberty, walk over to the local coin shop, sell it for $10, and go get a gallon of gas. See, gold and silver are timeless. Nothing else is. Number 4, it's too volatile. Are you serious? Gold is volatile? This is crazy. And number 5, it's a headache. These are the easiest things. You just buy it and hold it. You know what's a headache is trying to deal with stocks and stock market volatility and blah, blah, blah. And he's called, because he's going to go about the digital way. Not talk. This guy, man. Wow. I'm not going to dox anyone. I'm not going to tell you to go email this guy and tell him how stupid he is or how terrible of an article is. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just know it. Just think it in your head, but don't actually attack this guy, please. Number 4, it's too volatile. We've seen even in the past few years how gold prices can go up or down rapidly. Its inflation-adjusted returns are just over returns on treasury bills, but its standard deviation is over 13, which is huge. It basically has the volatility of stocks and returns of treasury bills. It's like the worst of both worlds. So if you're going to assume the volatility that comes with gold, why not enjoy the returns that come with stocks? Because stocks aren't money. Stocks Anything that's pegged to the dollar is going to go down with the dollar. The dollar's lost 98%, not 99%, not 97%. 98% is a literal factual number. We are $28 trillion in debt. The dollar is going to collapse. So investing into anything that is pegged to the dollar is like switching seats on the Titanic. Number 5, it's a headache. There are some real headaches that come with investing and owning gold. For one thing, there's storage. It costs money to store gold. And yeah, because you own it. Would you rather your entire life's, future pegged to a screen, a number with a company that could easily, bail out or go bankrupt or lose their funds, or like the stock market crash in the past? I mean, or would you rather be in complete control of your wealth? You tell me. It's subject to theft and destruction. You know what else is? Hacking. You know what else is? The corrupt financial system we live in. Banks like JP Morgan. Sure, there are always ways around that. For instance, you can invest in ETFs as a way to get exposure to gold without actually owning it. But if you actually buy gold, storage is definitely an issue you'll need to address. And let me tell you something, guy. You can fit $100,000 of gold in a shoebox. You're telling me that storage issues is something you'll need to think about? I can fit $100,000 worth of gold in a shoebox. Silver's a different, and that's one reason why I tell people gold has the one up on silver, is because storage. $100,000 worth of silver is pretty hard to store. $100,000 worth of gold, very easy to store. So to say that storage is actually something that you have to consider, calling it a terrible investment, is just silly, and it's just downright misleading. So the ask bids on gold can be significant. When you go to a coin dealer and buy an ounce of gold, the difference between how much they pay for gold versus how much they sell is significant. I know this from my own adventure in buying coins. I view coins as more of a hobby than an investment, but even in this case, bid-ask spreads really do add to the cost. And that's why you don't buy from a third-party dealer. Yeah, you're buying from a coin shop. They still have to buy that coin from you and resell it at a profit. Or you can cut out the middleman and buy or sell online. It's a bad inflation hedge. Wow. I cannot wait to read this paragraph. In spite of what you may have read, gold is actually not a good hedge against inflation. The folks who love gold say when inflation goes up, so does the price of gold. However, studies show that this isn't true. It can be a hedge against crisis. When financial systems are in crisis mode like they were in 2008, 2009, gold prices do tend to go up. But over the long term, they're not a good hedge against regular inflation. Well, if you look at regular inflation, if you look at the FOMC Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, if you look at what's happened over the last year and a half, if you look at where we are headed, the dollar almost collapsing, if you look at all of that, and you think everything's just going to be fine and dandy and rainbows and unicorns and everything's going to recover and the dollar's going to gain strength, and you think that's a reality of this world? No. If that was a possibility, or if that was going to happen, then yes, gold would not be the answer. But we all know that we are headed in one direction, and that is downwards. And for you to pretend like something is going to be all rainbows and unicorns, it's just misleading. And let's see his example. For example, remember that in 1980, gold prices rose to about $850 an ounce? And he's also talking about 1980 when you couldn't even buy gold. This is when the Hunt brothers cornered the silver market, shooting silver up to $50. But you know why the Hunt brothers chose silver? Because you were not allowed to buy gold in 1980. Rose $850 an ounce. By 2002, the price was only $293 an ounce. See, miscontext. In 1980, they banned gold. You couldn't buy gold, so of course the price went downwards. He's not sharing the context. He's using an example, and he probably knows this, using an example of something that the government did illegally. I mean, I guess they made this law on the spot, but without telling the reader or this guy asking for advice that part of it. Context matters. He's acting like this just happened. No, it happened because the government did something very messed up. And they didn't like the Hunt brothers cornering the market, owning 77% of the global silver supply. It had fallen to a third of its previous value. But what about inflation during the same period? It was up averaged 3.9% per year. And yes, that's because the government was throwing trillions of dollars into stocks and trillions of dollars to suppress the price of silver and gold. It's crazy. And this is the author, Robert. Ah, man. Man. I hate these types of articles. See, imagine if that guy just read all this. Do you think he would ever even consider precious metals? And I'm not trying to be biased. Just because I'm a silver stacking channel, I even said in the beginning, if he made some good points, I would agree. But every point he made, except for a few, there was this is one of the ones that I kind of agree with, but if he would actually have made good points, which I could probably make better points than him on why gold isn't the best investment, I would have agreed with him. But this was all twisting things to make it out for his own reasons, which is probably trying to push the best online discount brokers, advisors, best short-term capital or betterment, loans and credit, and that's why. Because gold and silver is a direct threat to the dollar, so he is going to post something that makes gold and silver look bad so he can keep his company running, and that's why I don't like this stuff. It's a biased article written from someone who either has no idea what he's talking about or knows so much that he is misinforming, twisting the words. And that's what I hate. And that's why I tear apart articles like this. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. What do you think about this? Like this video if you support silver. Like this video if you think this article was ridiculous. And also, if you want a chance to express your love for precious metals in a fashionable way, check out slayersmerch.com. The greedy line is one of my favorites. The dollar logo going downwards, and on the back it has the barcode that says priceless. I mean, I'm a genius. I mean, not really, but when I'm designing these clothes, I really try to make them look clean. Right, I try to make them look clean and simple, right? My name, Silver Slayer, isn't on any of these clothes. I don't want this to be a brand showcasing my channel. I want this to just be a clothing line for silver stackers to wear. You will never see my name, Silver Slayer, on any of this stuff. It's just a clothing line for silver stackers, and that's all. It's not Silver Slayer merch or anything. It's just a clothing line, and that's what I want it to be. So yeah, slayersmerch.com if you want to check it out. Very nice material as well. All the material is the best quality stuff. You can get lower grade, but it costs less. But what I do is I actually get the higher grade, but I just cut down the price, so it's the price of the lower grade. So I'm losing profit, but I would rather you guys look comfortable, feel comfortable and still pay the same price as the cheaper stuff. I'm just losing a little bit more money, but I don't care. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.